Greetings viewer, so you're interested in installing the Rockwood 409 wall bumper for an entry lock set that uses the push button feature. Well, you're in luck. The YouTube search algorithm has worked in your favor. The wall bumper comes enclosed in a small plastic bag that includes a screw and wall anchor. Remove the screw from the bumper by pressing down on a hard surface. This will allow the head of the screw to pop up through the small hole in the center of the wall bumper. If you have a lot of wall bumper to install, you should keep one of these to reuse as a jig of sort. That way, you'll save time from having to remove the screw with every installation. All door adjustment should be completed before the next step. The push button on the lock needs to fit inside the concave center of the wall bumper. Otherwise, it will hit the edge of the bumper and lock the door. Hold the wall bumper against the wall and slowly open the door towards the wall until it meets the wall bumper. Visually, make sure that the lock push button fits in the center of the wall bumper. When it is perfectly aligned, the outer diameter of the wall bumper will follow closely with the width and end of the lock set handle. Now close the door while holding the wall bumper in place. Use a punch to mark the center point of the wall bumper. This is where you will make a hole for the plastic anchor. I'm using a beater bit to make a 5/16 hole. You might also want to start with a smaller 1/8 bit. If there's a stud in that location and you have to use just a screw with no anchor, you will still have a pretty good center point to work with. Remember that you don't have much allowance to be off here. Install the plastic anchor by carefully using a hammer. I'm going to use a slim body number 2 Phillips tip. As you can see here, it's less than half the width of the average bit holder. This will help minimize marring the rubber on the wall bumper. Place the screw back into the stop using your drill. Keep holding the two together. This will make the wall bumper a lot easier to install. Don't over tighten. Open the door so that it hits the wall bumper. You can still make some very small adjustments to the wall bumper if needed. Make sure it all works before walking away. Something to be mindful of when installing the 409 wall bumper. Make sure the door needs a bumper. By that I mean check the hardware schedule to see if the door calls for a push closer and not just a regular closer. Sometimes you will see both listed, so there will be no need for that wall stop. On the IT room door, find out if there will be any panels going on the wall that will interfere with the door reaching that wall bumper. You might need to use a floor stop instead. Use a slim body number 2 Phillips tip, especially if this was a dome-shaped wall bumper. Sometimes, making a small pallet hole where the wall bumper will be installed can save you some headache, especially if a wall stud happens to be right there. All door adjustments need to be completed before installing the wall bumper, especially if the lock set has a push button to lock it. You might just accidentally lock yourself out of the room. And don't use the door handle to make a mark on the wall for the wall bumper location, or use an existing mark that the handle made. The door operates on a radius, and that affects the contact point from the face of the wall. Where the handle hits on the wall is not the same as where it hits when trying to center up on the wall bumper. Thank you for your time.